Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net on Sunday the 2nd of November. Thanks again for watching. And excuse my one-way ticket to Dottingham voice today, won't you? A bit bunged up here, but I'm sure you'll forgive me for that. Just taking a look at the October mean maximum temperatures. This is how things shaped up to the 28th of the month. And you can see how it was the east and the south that saw the warmest of conditions. 2.5 degrees Celsius above normal here, and warm towards the west as well. 1.5 degrees Celsius above normal there. Now, I was just looking back through the records at the Met Office website, and the nearest we could come up with that compared to October 2014 was October 1949. Not quite so warm across the east, but certainly we were still values of 2.5 degrees across southern and southeastern parts of the country, 1.5 degrees Celsius out towards the west. Now, this is how the 500 millibar anomalies looked for October 1949, and you notice there, look, a centre of high heights across the UK. Now compare that with this year, and that was how 2014 shaped up. So actually quite a similar setup to back in 1949. Now, what did the winter of 1949 turn out like? Well, so the winter months actually then saw us between low than normal heights towards the north, low than normal heights down towards the south of the country, and the higher than normal heights off towards the east. Look, so Scandinavian high was in there, but a high in the Atlantic as well. So we got that sort of flow that was taking place through the winter months. And what that did was it created the situation where much of France, the Low Country, central parts of Europe, went into below normal temperatures, but most of the UK was around or above normal, apart from the far north of Scotland. And because of that generally westerly flow that was in position, northern and western parts of the country were in wetter than normal conditions, but drier to the south. And you can see here on the sea level pressure anomaly for winter 49, which takes you from the 1st of December 1949 through to the 28th of February 1950. And we got this pressure anomaly towards the north, with higher than normal pressures occurring down towards the south. And it was that sort of flow that meant that we had this kind of normal-ish sort of winter to warm normal across most parts, but it was the west that saw that rain. So again, from the Met Office website, this was mean temperature for November 1949, and you can see how it was above normal actually across many parts of Scotland, northwest England, Northern Ireland. Nearer normal down towards the south, below normal though in the southeast in one or two areas, but only very slightly below. December was actually warm for most, but cooler in the north and the east of Scotland. And in fact, January 1950 was very warm across the northwest of Scotland, down through Northern Ireland, and elsewhere across the country, generally temperatures range between 0 and around 1.5 degrees Celsius above normal. Remember, that's the mean temperature, so actually that's quite a significant figure above normal. Overall, winter 1949-1950 shaped up like that to be a very mild one across many areas. So actually, if past performance is anything to go on, it doesn't bode particularly well for this winter, but I have to say I think that overdoes it a little bit. Certainly we're still in the area of a cooler winter than we saw last year, although perhaps not as cold as was initially expected during the middle of the year. The El Nino just hasn't taken off, and that really has been causing some problems. Anyway, on to the forecast for the next 10 days, 2 weeks, and perhaps a little bit further beyond. This is the 7 to 10 day mean of the 500 millibar flow. ECMWF on the left here, the GFS on the right. This from the PSU website, and you notice here, look how both models got the ridge in the Atlantic, then this deep trough, look, out towards the west of the UK with the ridge building across Russia. And again, GFS has got that same sort of pattern. What is different is the trough that's over the States. The ECMWF has quite a deep feature here down through central parts of the States, but yes, the deep feature is still there on the CFS, but a little bit further towards the east. Now, all of those minor differences have a knock-on effect to what happens over the atmosphere as it affects the UK, but with this sort of pattern you would be in a milder flow, in an unsettled flow as well, particularly for southern and western parts of the country. And it's interesting to see the dynamics at work actually here, how the atmosphere is going to be producing these unsettled conditions. This is from weatheronline.co.uk. It's the forecast 500 millibar flow for Tuesday, 6 o'clock in the morning. And you see this centre of low heights out there towards the west of the UK. There's the jet coming across like so. We've got a trough through here. We've got that ridge off towards the east. But the area we're really interested in is up here. Watch what happens 6 o'clock on Wednesday morning. Great example of the atmosphere at work here. Look, colder air digs down to the eastern Newfoundland. It strengthens this trough that's in here. And then that trough feature digs in here into the ridge as a confluent feature. And when I talk about confluence trough, actually it's this area running ahead here where we get a strengthening of the jet ahead of the trough. And then it continues to dig in on Friday with another feature then because of the cold air behind getting to the south of Greenland. And as that cold air digs in, it strengthens the trough out towards the towards the west of the UK. By Sunday, that really has become a major feature again in the Atlantic, although by then, look, starting to pump a little bit of warmer air northwards, which creates the ridge that we see there. And that means that the next trough that gets in from the west isn't quite as virulent as the ones that went before, although still we've got the centre of low heights across Ireland, pumping up this warmer air from the continent at higher levels and bringing plenty of moisture into the atmosphere, which is why I think there's going to be quite a significant difference between the west of the UK and Ireland and the east of the UK and Ireland. The west wet, the east seeing rain, but not as wet as the west could be. So this is from the CFS. That too picks up on these trough ideas. Here it is for week 1 from the 2nd to the 8th of November. There's the area of low pressure across the country, those low the normal heights. Week 2, 9th till the 15th. There's our trough look out towards the west, showing that anomaly quite nicely. But you notice there, look, the higher the normal heights east of the country, hinting that those eastern areas seeing, I'm not going to say dry conditions, please don't run away with the idea that I'm saying dry conditions, because I'm not, but drier conditions when compared to the west, which could become really wet out towards the west of the UK. And then week 3 from the 16th to the 22nd, still look, got that trough out towards the west of the UK, still got the high off towards the east, and we maintain that flow, that south to southeasterly flow, pumping that moist air in all the time. Western areas staying wet, and in fact that pattern just continues then into week 4 as far as the CFS sees it, again with the low going further south. Now I think what we need to look at here is the potential in week 4 that with the high collapsing off towards the east, what we may well find happening is a pump of air starting to get in from the east or the southeast. Now what that could do is bring wetter conditions back to the south of the country, but cooler conditions for all, particularly Scotland, Northern Ireland, Northern England. It's something to be watching out for during this week at the end of November. And incidentally, should have mentioned earlier on, it looks like there's a risk of some frost this week, so those of you gardening or farming, stay tuned to the forecast, because although they won't be severe, I think certainly we could be seeing some of the white stuff on the ground for the first time for many of us during this season. Of course, we'll keep you updated throughout. We've been telling private clients about that for some time now. So, whatever you're doing, have a great day. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net, and don't forget, take a look around the site, see the charts that we've got on here, and of course we've got that back catalogue of all of our videos as well, so do feel free to take a look. But for now, whatever you're doing, have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching, and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.